Let's talk about dealing with missing values in when you're dealing with missing values in R. You have a data set and you have some missing values you want to deal with. So first we load up our tidyverse data set. Next, we want to copy down this particular data set I created. It has a couple of missing values. You'll notice in the diagnosis folder, so it's a patient data set. It has IDs, ages, some diagnosis of patients, and some blood pressures. So the missing values are in the diagnosis and in the blood pressure and in the blood pressure folder here, blood pressure column here. So there are a couple of ways of dealing with missing data. So the first thing I'm going to say is data, then filter. I'm going to say is not anything that is blank in the diagnosis column. So at the bottom here it gives us only the values that are blank in the diagnosis column. The next thing we want to do is just another thing we can try rather is just dropping everything that has missing values. So we're going to say drop underscore NA, and you see it just brings up the IDs which have complete values. So remember diagnosis, and so remember there were like a couple of IDs that didn't have diagnosis. So patient 1, patient 3, patient 2, and patient 5 didn't have had missing values, which means everything with missing values was just automatically dropped. But the more precise option would be something like this. We'll say clean data, then we'll say our data set, take our data set, Control Shift M, and then we'll say drop NA, and then we'll say anything in the blood pressure column that has missing values, we'll drop it, and we'll say view clean data, and here's what it brings us. So one of our patients had a missing blood pressure column, a missing blood pressure value. So we've just isolated him and taken him out, but kept all the patients with the missing values in the malaria folder. The final thing we can do is, the softer option. So we can label it, and we can label our data for the specific missing values that we have. So and then we say diagnosis. In our diagnosis folder, we're going to say replace NA, say diagnosis, comma, and then we'll say replace everything in our missing anything in the diagnosis column, so I've said replace everything in the diagnosis column with the words missing result. When you press Control Enter, what happens is down here you can see that there's 1 and 2. So those are the ones which had missing diagnosis, and we've just replaced that with missing result.